I remember back in the 80s when I first heard electronic music. I knew back then this illegal computer sound was gonna be my call. My heart got hooked on 4x4 beats when House took its journey with Jack, Chicago, and Acid House. Now my heart is hooked forever.
Time to make our pre-work. It's raining. Fucking raining. Has he sent the penis image? I can't even talk about that.
Yeah, but it's like upwards, so it's like...
Yeah, I mean, it's an angles game. It's an angles game, isn't it, gents? I'm not going to be able to monetize this if I'm talking about that. It's an angles game. If you've not got a lot to work with, got to play the angles game, you know? I don't have to play the angles game. Ain't that right, babe?
Right, babe.
So he bragged to her about the size of it, did he?
Yeah,
and he said, I've got a 6.5er.
Yeah.
Between me and you, son. 6.5 ain't really much to, you know. Don't know where I'm going with this. I don't think I can keep it in. It's disgusting. But men, hey men, don't send females dick pics if they haven't asked. Okay? Okay.
It's in my soul, in my veins, on my mind 24/7.
New pre-workout to try. It smells like Rubicon. It smells like Rubicon mango. This is the Insight X Naughty Boy collaboration. Looks at the back of the panel. It looks similar to its usual. L-citrulline, glycosides, beta-alanine, caffeine. The only change is hordenine HCl and biophytum. I don't know whether they are the same supplements, the same ingredients, same alpha-zone, L-tyrosine, and the estrogen for absorption. We've been doing well with Naughty Boy. Fantastic branding and products as well. Got to hand the keys back, haven't I? We were going to be doing a sex podcast, not like a podcast just on sex, just a trendy podcast. However, I am creating a separate clothing company. I think because the summer weather is back, and a lot of people that were wearing season 1 TMC t-shirts are sort of re-tagging me, which is great to see. But as stated on previous podcast, I don't know, I felt like the whole sort of merch was a little bit gimmicky, and I wanted to separate from TMC clothing. So I'm in talks with my graphic designer, and we are looking to create a separate clothing brand, and within that it will be a clothing brand and a podcast as well, where we can talk about a variety of different topics, fitness included too, but also broadening it out a little bit and getting on special guests. So,
And am I going to be a special guest?
yeah, you'll be a special guest. In comes the strawberry. Mango Rubicon. Strawberry ice pole.
Don't care if it's jazz, soul, tech, minimal, funky, vocal, or hip house. You name it.
Yeah, and it's raining, which means I can't squat outside. I'm getting so infuriated with this gym situation, I can't tell you. On a daily basis, I have to really have a woosah moment, because I get angry at pubs, hairdressers, physically touching people, who's socially distancing in a pub, and restaurants, no gyms. And it gets to me. The positive news is I've got 2 gyms that I can use as of next week. 2 facilities that have very good kit, Cybex Eagle, and another unit which is a full gym. So the plan is to continue with the goal that the gyms were going to open 4th of July, start the new training plan 6th of July, get blood work done and start the blast, because all of 2020 I've been on a cruise. We'll go into more information on the voiceover, but as of this week, training's taken a slight manipulation. Volume has dropped a little bit, increased the load. Food will start to increase at the tail end of this week, and yeah, like I said, we'll go through it on the mini cut, because it's been far from successful, but we've managed to take some weight off and improve body composition a little bit. Hey, let's have a little catch up. I haven't had a catch up in ages. Let's have a discussion of how I feel that lockdown has gone and plans moving forward. So we'll strip it right back. Tail end of 2019, I finished my blast. Entered 2020 on a cruise, a true cruise. Blood work will back that up. Usually I'm around about the 14 nanomolar of testosterone, so maybe on the slightly lower end, but given the situation that we're in with home training and not much kit, I don't really want to push the higher upper end of testosterone. So we had a very successful first 3 months of 2020, pushed body weight up to about 102 and a half, and had a deload the week that we went into lockdown. So end of March, went into lockdown. I took a week off because we had a fairly intense bout of training. And then the first week in lockdown was acceptable. Motivation was okay. I had a band, a couple of bands, a few dumbbells and a barbell, not an Olympic one. But first week was fine. Then bang, almost out of nowhere, blindsided, drop in motivation. Couldn't bother to track. I was still gaining and finding it incredibly hard to eat the same food, mainly because the expenditure being exerted in home training, you can't really match that intensity in a gym scenario, in the gym environment. So whereas before I'd wake up, train fasted, go to Muscleworks, come back, have my post-workout meal, post-workout meal, and I'd still be hungry, I didn't get that. So I found it incredibly hard to consume food, almost force-feeding whilst we were home training, and that is not the route we're going to go down from a digestive perspective, from a psychological perspective. So I pulled back on food a little bit, dropped it down to, I think, about a maintenance for a few weeks. But again, training was non-existent. I'd do an upper session, a lower session. I'd take 3 or 4 days off because I didn't want to train. I remember being in the shower and dreading, almost like a kid at their first day at school, dreading going into the car park or the park or even my front room when it was raining to train. So this went on for a few weeks. Body composition took a little bit of a hit, still maintaining around about 101, 102, but body comp was thrown off, so it's never a good position to be in. And then Elle's friend messaged to say, look, I've got a garage that you can use. My old man has a Smith machine, as you can see in this shot. I purchased some plates from Origin, and again, first week was fantastic. Had my mojo back, motivation was higher, and then just like before, boom, it dropped, completely bottomed out. And I think environment is so key when we're training. I can't really shout and grunt here. There's like old people next to me sitting in their garden. I'm using these very kind people's shed. So again, it's not that same environment that I'm used to. So I decided then for the last 8 or so weeks to mini cut, that we can use this time, clean up. Hopefully the gym's open in July sometime, and we can use this drop in body fat and increase in body composition as a nice rebound, and then push for the rest of the year and try and get up to those 105 kilos when we do start our off season. Again, mini cut started first week, vlogged it, was tracking food, and then bang, completely off again. I found that motivation has spiked and dropped massively for the first time in a long time. And my physique, I feel, has taken a hit, and you'll see an update very soon. But it's also been the first time in years, probably when I first started training, as you do, you first start training to try and change the way you look, that I've looked in the mirror and really disliked the way I've looked, and like to the point where I'd walk past the mirror and I wouldn't look, and I never felt that before. And it is, I mean, I can handle it, because once you have a word with yourself and go, look, Tom, it's only been 12 or so weeks, strength will come back, body composition will change again, gyms will probably open in July. If you look at the bigger picture, we're probably going to be out of the gym scenario and setting for 12 or so weeks. So once you have that word with yourself, you kind of talk yourself into thinking that everything is going to be okay. And the mini cut, as you'll see, has been relatively successful. I've gone from 102.5 down to 92.5. Still got a week left. Going fairly aggressive this week, just to pull as much fat off as possible. And next week we will be, as mentioned, training in a facility that is an actual gym, that is acceptable to start a blast and a gaining phase. So I've pretty much exhausted the past 10 to 12 weeks and ready to go back in. Blood work is being done this week to assess where we're at. I'll speak to Cal, send over equipment. which is, you know, leg press. It's a proper gym, thankfully, and I'm very appreciative of the person that reached out, because I don't know how long I could do this for much more. But I'm hoping that gyms do open mid-July. It seems that way. I see a few government officials have said that as well, that leisure facilities are opening mid-July. So it may mean I'm just using this facility for 2 or so weeks. But this is the current condition. I've gone from 102 to 92, so I lost 10 kg, lost a lot of weight this move. But I feel that for 10 kilos lost, body composition hasn't really improved too much. You know, it's cleaned up a little bit. But now I'm settled in this house. I want to continue for another week or so, and use July 6th when I re-enter as our blast, and to drive body weight up. So there we go. That's just a little insight to how things have gone. Very good training session indeed. Best one for a while. I just dropped the keys back to the Beckenham flat. All done, all finished, all cleaned, done and dusted. Time for my meal number one, which is my little breakfast of sourdough with peanut butter, oats, dark chocolate, blueberries, and a scoop and a half of lean whey. They've added some additional bits into the lean whey. They've still got the original Cinnacrunch cereal pieces, but they've got these little cinnamon balls, tiny little cinnamon balls. Very, very nice, especially when you're dieting. How's that for natural lighting? Oh, it just takes it there. I've gone supersonic with this level of coffee snobbery. If you'd have told me a few years back, when I was on chicken side, McDonald's, rapid I was, I had a system, 2 at a time for nuggets, McChicken sandwich, wraps, £4.20 an hour. If you told me a few years back, when I was earning £4.20 an hour, gathering as much money as possible so I could fly to Zante and lose my virginity in Cocktails and Dreams toilets. True story. If you said, Tom, in a few years' time you're going to be making elite level coffee, I told you to fuck off. Now look at me. Anything's possible. Anything's possible! Today's a rest day, which means plenty typing. Ooh. Come on, automatic lighting. There we go. Today's a rest day, which means...
Sorry.
Hey, not a problem. Which rest day means big computer day. So editing this vlog, filming 3 members' videos. Number 1 being how to transition from home training into our gyms, back into our gyms. The second being how to reverse out of a mini cut. And the third one, we are going through my cycle, my new blast, which starts probably next week, getting some bloods done soon, sent off for Medicheck, so hopefully they'll be coming within the next day or 2. It's fragile. Oh my gosh. Ibiza for artwork, baby. Ian Salmon art, fantastic. And Ibiza piece. Carl Cox, Ibiza rocks. Mambos, Pachar, Circo Loco, Amnesia, incredible. I'll link his Instagram. I think he's got a few more pieces as well that I wanted to grab. A couple of weeks. I just listened to Boris on LBC, who said the gym's going to be reopening in a couple of weeks, while simultaneously saying that we need to tackle the obesity crisis, and in order to fight coronavirus we must get fitter. So tackle obesity, pubs and restaurants reopen, theme parks, fast food, tackle obesity, but pushing gyms and pools back. Banter. I'm just outside the gym for the last ever session in the shed. It's been emotional. Got hamstrings, back and biceps today. I have a call with Callum tomorrow morning to discuss doses for this new blast. We're adopting a slightly different approach for this one and only blast of the year. Obviously the way things have panned out, I couldn't get in 2 blasts, so one will have to do, and it will be a good one. and we'll be going through that whole documentation period and covering that on the members site. But I wanted to finish on, it's very hot in here, I wanted to finish on motivation for clients. I don't know if it was in the last YouTube vlog or Instagram post, but someone asked, how do you keep your clients motivated? And we adopted increasing frequency. So we have our usual video check-ins once a week, but on a Monday what we did was had a sit down, be it like a voice note or a written message via WhatsApp, just to see how the weekend's gone, and to make any tweaks or changes going into the new week. The second option, or the second idea, was to film for accountability our sessions, not necessarily the whole session, but our top sets. And by doing so, and I think myself included, when I've got that camera pointing at me, the desire to perform is there, and we saw a nice progression in top sets for particular movements. The third option was to increase the frequency or rotation of exercises, something that I tend not to do when I'm in a gym setting and programming for my clients in the gym, because I want to marry a particular movement for that 6 to 8 weeks. But we can keep the bigger compound movements and just rotate those smaller accessory movements, and or have like a rotation 1 and 2. So for my upper lower clients or push pull leg clients, I had 2 rotations, and it just keeps that excitement, you know, especially within the house or within the garden. That excitement drops off a little bit, but an increase in rotation of exercises was also nice. And what's been quite successful for females, and Elle's doing it as well, is Kira London, and Courtney D Black is doing it as well. The live workouts have been fantastic. I haven't seen many males do it, but I've seen a few coaches that were one-to-one PTs that have had to set up a webcam or via the phone and take their clients through a full workout via the phone, which has been really good to see as well. But it's been fantastic to see people that have turned their side hustles into full-time hustles during this lockdown. My friend's girlfriend started a bakery company. There's people that are doing fitness lives that have a couple of Elle's friends have been made redundant and have used this opportunity to start pushing their side hustles into their main hustle. So it's been really good to see. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I'll see you in the next video, which will probably be going for our off-season diet, how to reverse out of a mini cut. And it's annoying because I can't film in this new facility. Obviously, I understand why, but hopefully it is only a couple of weeks before we can get back into Muscle Works and start filming our workouts again. Okay, I'll see you very soon. Thank you for watching this vlog. I love you all very dearly. Thank you, good night. Much love.